Aloha and good afternoon. Welcome to This Is Now. Honolulu police are investigating several violent crimes that happened over the weekend. More on that in just a few minutes.
But first, as we prepare to celebrate the new year, officials are hoping to get illegal fireworks out of Hawaii communities. The State Department of Law Enforcement just wrapped up a press conference about a fireworks amnesty program. Here's some of what they had to say.
We will be conducting a fireworks amnesty turn-in event on December 17th. Which is this Sunday, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. at 4 of our of Honolulu Fire Department's stations. Fire Station 9 in Kakako. The second is Fire Station 12 in Waipahu. Fire Station 40, which is in Kapolei near the Costco. And Fire Station 41, which is in Mililani, Mauka. There will be no questions asked when these fireworks are turned in. The instructions we would like individuals to follow is that the fireworks must be in a container in the trunk or the rear portion of the vehicles. The individual is to remain in the vehicle while the first responders recover the fireworks.
Now, some examples of what you can turn in: firecrackers, sprinklers, fountains, cracker balls, aerial shells and tubes, cakes and skyrockets. What they won't accept: homemade or modified fireworks, as well as firearms and ammunition.
We turn now to some other news that happened over the weekend. A man is in custody in connection with a double shooting at an illegal game room. 21-year-old DePaul Leuta is charged with a firearm crime and harassment. Law enforcement sources say that Leuta got into an argument with security at an illegal game room just before 2 Saturday morning. It was near the intersection of Hoff-Tailing and School Street, and a man and woman, both in their 40s, suffered gunshot wounds, but they are expected to be okay. HPD has opened an attempted murder investigation. Honolulu police are also on the hunt for 3 suspects wanted in connection with a violent home invasion. It happened Saturday night on Ualaka'a Street in Lower Tantalus. Law enforcement sources say 3 men barged into a home there and demanded the victim safe. When they didn't get what they wanted, sources say one of the victims was hit with a handgun and kicked in the face. HPD has not released a description of the alleged suspects. Meanwhile, a kupuna is recovering after a bizarre attack at a bus stop near Liliha and King Streets. After the assault, police say the suspect kissed a witness before slapping her and running off. We've confirmed police captured that suspect not far from the scene.
It was a horrific weekend of tornadoes in Tennessee where 6 people were killed and entire neighborhoods were wiped out. Now, that same system is causing flooding in New York, New Jersey, and southern New England. Manuel Bojorquez has the latest.
Oh my God!
In Nashville, Tennessee, videos posted to social media show the intense wind.
Oh my God!
And the night sky lit up from exploding electrical equipment. In just minutes, powerful tornadoes shredded homes in Middle Tennessee. The city of Clarksville was hardest hit, where the National Weather Service says an EF3 tornado reached max wind speeds of 150 miles per hour. Yet closer to Nashville, an EF2 tornado left its mark as it sent mobile homes airborne at this trailer park. Firefighters believe that's how 31-year-old mother Floridima Perez and her 2-year-old son Anthony Mendez were killed.
One of the firemen, I said, did they find the baby? And they said yes, they couldn't find it because she was holding it, covering it, protecting it.
Another trailer belonged to 37-year-old father Joseph Dalton, who died from his injuries.
I'm thankful that we're all alive, but what hurts me more than anything is he lost his life last night.
The National Weather Service reported at least 6 tornado tracks. Officials say at least 22 structures were destroyed and more than 80 people were injured. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee toured the damage Sunday.
There are victims whose lives are devastated and will never be the same.
Tanya Osborne says she's lucky she wasn't home when her house was hit.
I would have been in the closet that's now been sucked out.
Now, she's left with very little.
My whole life has been reduced to several garbage bags and what I can get in them and what I can salvage.
The local electrical company says there was extensive damage to some of its substations, so some areas may not have power fully restored, possibly for weeks. Clarksville and Montgomery County schools will be closed today and tomorrow as officials continue to assess damage to campuses there. Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, Nashville.
The University of Pennsylvania's president, which is one of 3 university leaders who have been bashed by critics for testimony to Congress last week about hate speech, has agreed to step down. The 2 other presidents, the presidents of Harvard and MIT, are also under pressure. Skylar Henry has the latest.
More than 500 Harvard professors submitted a petition backing University President Claudine Gay, who is under pressure to resign after last week's congressional hearings on anti-Semitic behavior on college campuses. Gay and the presidents from MIT and the University of Pennsylvania have all come under scrutiny after struggling to answer some questions about their policies.
Calling for the genocide of Jews violates Harvard Code of Conduct, correct?
Again, it depends on the context.
It does not depend on the context. The answer is yes, and this is why you should resign. These are unacceptable answers across the board.
Penn's president, Liz McGill, did just that over the weekend. McGill submitted a resignation letter Saturday, saying it has been my privilege to serve as president of this remarkable institution. Afterwards, Stefanik tweeted, 1 down, 2 to go. Stefanik is not alone. More than 70 members of Congress from both parties have sent letters to the governing boards of the universities demanding the president step down. House members say they're launching investigations to look into anti-Semitism on other college campuses as well.
This is not just confined to these campuses. We want to look at Columbia, Cornell, and many, many other institutions.
Harvard President Gay later apologized, saying she should have been clear that threats against Jewish students are unacceptable at Harvard. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
In our nation's capital, a group of pro-Palestinian protesters chained themselves to the fence outside of the White House today. Capitol Police were cutting the chains with a large cutter as they attempted to remove the protesters. Meanwhile, as the battles rage on in Gaza, Israel says it has captured the former headquarters of Hamas in Gaza City. Now, the situation for the civilians is only getting worse. Many families are starving and have nowhere to go. Ramy Inocencio takes us there.
An Israeli airstrike obliterated a family home in Khan Yunis. And Nasser Hospital, the South's biggest, is now overflowing with the dead and injured. A sniper killed my son, said this father. I will take revenge. Parents and children hit by loss and grief, some of the hundreds of thousands who fled the north, only to be hit by Israel's military in the south. The UN now says 90% of Gaza's population has been displaced, nearly 2 million men, women, and children, nearly all going without food for days. Half of those are starving, says the World Food Program.
The suffering of the children in Gaza is, I think it's unmatched.
How much food aid is coming in each day?
The humanitarian operation is actually on the brink of collapse. It's impossible to deliver aid in these conditions. We need a ceasefire now.
But the fighting drags on and on. The U.S. vetoed a UN resolution for an immediate ceasefire last Friday, the only permanent member to do so. In Israel, a mix of emotions. Anguish in Jerusalem at a funeral for a soldier killed in Gaza.
I love you so much.
And some solace in Tel Aviv, where freed hostages joined a Hanukkah menorah lighting in Hostage Square. This 17-year-old and her mother said thank you for returning us.
And today, a direct hit from a rocket fired from Gaza into the Tel Aviv suburbs. It damaged several apartments, cars, it put a huge crater into the street, and it injured one man in the leg. And this is proof that despite Israel's military push further south into Gaza, Hamas still very much has the ability to target within this country, and it tries every single day. Ramy Inocencio, CBS News, Holon.
The U.S. Supreme Court dismissed several cases on federal government and COVID vaccine mandates Monday. Those cases were filed against a pandemic-era mandate that required government workers to get vaccinated. In 2 of those cases, lower courts ruled against challengers to the mandate. In one, a lower court ruled in favor. The Biden administration rescinded vaccine requirements for federal workers in May. The justices determined that makes the cases moot.
States can prohibit licensed healthcare professionals from using conversion therapy on minors. That's the precedent from a 6-3 Supreme Court decision today to let a Washington state law stand. Conversion therapy seeks to change a person's gender, identity, or sexual orientation. It's widely discredited and often traumatizing. The person who challenged Washington's law is a family counselor who argues it violates his freedoms of speech and religion. Dissenters, Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas, write they would have taken up the case on First Amendment grounds. Washington does allow licensed therapists to suggest a client seek conversion therapy from someone else. They just can't practice it themselves. Today is the deadline for Maui wildfire victims to apply for federal disaster assistance. Homeowners or renters who suffered damage or loss of property and vehicles are eligible to apply. Impacted businesses can also look for help through a disaster loan through the U.S. Small Business Administration. If you have homeowners insurance, you are urged to file a claim with them before filing for FEMA aid. But don't delay. Again, the deadline to apply is today. Head online to disasterassistance.gov for information.
More Lahaina burn zones will open to residents today. Those will be zones 9A, 9B, 11A, 12A, and 12C. Those include Wharf Street and a portion of Front Street and Mill Street. You can look for the map on mauirecovers.org. The areas will be open these first 2 days from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and vehicle passes will be required. Meanwhile, new tests reveal toxins present in the Lahaina ash. The Hawaii Department of Health detected arsenic, lead, antimony, cobalt, and copper in samples collected from Lahaina properties. Now, of all of these, arsenic is the biggest concern. The cancer-causing toxin was found at levels more than 11 times higher than what's considered acceptable. Anyone entering Lahaina should use personal protective equipment, including masks, and take care, and be cognizant to not disturb the ash and avoid direct exposure.
Concerns are growing about the homeless situation in Waipahu after a major nonprofit that provided outreach in the area closed its doors. Eddie Dowd reports.
One of the areas of focus for outreach workers with Achieve Zero and the city was this canal here in Waipahu, where just a year ago there was a village of homeless camps down there. The concern is that with Achieve Zero leaving, that this canal will go back to what it once was. In November of 2022, H&N's cameras documented people going in and out of the canal. Items like sofas and other living room furniture seen lying on the canal floor. Since H&N's reporting, outreach to the area ramped up. But now one of the largest nonprofits that did outreach in central Oahu announcing it shut down operations on November 27th. In a press release, Achieve Zero saying, quote, "Despite our best efforts, we were unable to successfully navigate the challenging landscape and financial challenges that nonprofits face in the work that we do," end quote. There are now concerns that this part of the island could see its homeless situation worsen.
It's definitely still a problem, and it's potentially getting worse.
Leah Thorne says she used to be homeless herself during the COVID-19 pandemic and recently started the nonprofit Aloha State Outreach to focus on reaching the unsheltered in central Oahu. She's concerned with Achieve Zero shutting down. It hurts the level of trust between those unsheltered and outreach workers like herself.
You have to come back every day. If that's what you say that you're going to do, you have to.
Those concerns have reached the head of Honolulu EMS, who met us in Waipahu. He told us he's planning to send his core team that does a lot of homeless outreach in places like Waikiki and Chinatown and expand their service to central Oahu.
Here in Waipahu, since we have lost Achieve Zero now, we're going to have to come out here more.
Even during our interview, we spotted a man walking along the canal. He told us he was without housing and slept in a park nearby.
How are you? You okay?
So you see the possibility of this place becoming overrun with camps?
It's always possible, and that's why if we don't have the nonprofit that's going to focus on this area, CORE's got to step in and do it.
And even though CORE will be expanding to Waipahu, officials say they need help from the public to be their eyes and ears. That would be appreciated, and we have the hotline on how to do that on our website. Reporting in Waipahu, Eddie Dowd, Hawaii News Now.
More than 27,000 runners hit the pavement before dawn Sunday morning for the 51st annual Honolulu Marathon. The course stretched from downtown to Hawaii Kai and back to Waikiki. This year, the first-place finishers took home $25,000, along with medals made of real gold.
Of the nearly 30,000 runners who took part in the Honolulu Marathon this weekend, 30% of them were from Japan. That created a much-needed boost for the local economy. We're told a good number of the international runners stayed at outrigger properties, the marathon's host hotels.
It's good that we have these partnerships with the Honolulu Marathon to help bring back that demand. And you know, when I was walking through Monkey Pod, I couldn't help but think that a portion of that demand is from the Honolulu Marathon.
Since the pandemic, the Honolulu Marathon has slowly helped bring back more tourists to Oahu.
And Honolulu Marathon finishers aren't done with the race just yet. Today is an important final step in what was, for so many, a very long journey. Casey Lund is at the Hawaii Convention Center with more on Finisher Monday.
Today really is the culmination of all those athletes' hard work. Tens of thousands of runners, many of them are coming here today to the Hawaii Convention Center to get that official finisher's certificate, albeit maybe they're moving a little slowly this morning as they show up here to the Convention Center, but they deserve everything they've earned, training for months on end, many of them running the race for the very first time, others die-hard marathoners who wanted to complete the Honolulu Marathon one more time this year.
It was so much fun. Training for it, I had my awesome coach Anna, and she just got me through it, and then finishing was super awesome.
I love Honolulu Marathon because look at all the people here that you meet around the world. They always put on a great marathon every year, and I'm proud to be a participant.
Well, Sunday we also got to, of course, meet the elite athletes, those folks that finished at the top of the pack from Kenya, but we also love sharing the local stories. Our first Kama Aina runner, a local dentist who practices out of Aiea, a Waipio native, Dr. Zachary Lee. But I'll tell you, and Steve found this out yesterday as well, Zach Lee didn't start out his racing career until just a little while ago. Take a listen.
Really interesting thing is you didn't run track, you didn't run cross country, you're a soccer player. Yep. When did you transition into this, or why?
First marathon was in 2016. I actually had the crazy idea to propose to my now wife at the end of the marathon, so that was what kind of got me going on it. That was the first year I had moved back from the mainland, and then I've been hooked, so yeah.
Lee's time, 2 hours, 48 minutes, and 49 seconds. He also finished the Hapalua Half Marathon first this year as well, earlier in the spring. And congratulations to Zach and all of the other runners in the Honolulu Marathon for the 51st year. You are what makes that event so special, and we can't wait to see all of you back again next year. Reporting at the Hawaii Convention Center, I'm Casey Lund. For now, we'll send things back into the studio.
Thanks so much, Case, and a big congratulations to all the finishers and a big thank you to all the volunteers who make it happen every year. Okay, right now you're looking at the Santa Monica Pier in California, where the temperature is 68 degrees on this Aloha Monday. We're going to have a check on your local forecast with Guy Hagi after this short break.
we got a cold front on the way. It's going to bring some changes. Once that front passes by, we'll have stronger winds. Right now, the winds are fairly calm, mostly in single digits. But as the day progresses, these winds will get stronger. But like I said, once that front passes by, it's going to increase those winds. So sometime tomorrow, the winds will step up. They'll be quite breezy Wednesday and Thursday especially. And then as we head towards the weekend, they'll still run at moderate speeds, but they'll definitely be a notch slower than they will be on Wednesday and Thursday. So this is what we've got today. Really nice conditions, not much rainfall, but we're tracking a cold front. It's going to bring some showers tonight through tomorrow for Kauai. Move down the island chain Wednesday and Thursday with more scattered showers. Actually, by Thursday afternoon, we're expecting fairly dry conditions, but Thursday is the first alert for those stronger gusty winds. And then the winds will step back a little bit, but still kind of hold firm through Friday and Saturday. So get ready for a few more clouds, a few more showers, and with stronger winds starting tomorrow, and as well as a big swell coming in tomorrow afternoon.
Time to check out some news from the feeds, and for this story we go all the way to Wisconsin, where a 91-year-old man who is retired is finding some purpose and value in giving back and helping others. Caitlin Holt has his uplifting story.
It's fairly quiet in Door County this time of year, but no matter the season, Eugene Jacobs is keeping busy.
I've been delivering meals since 1997 when I retired from teaching high school mathematics at Sturgeon Bay High School.
It was his late wife, Beverly's idea for the couple to volunteer delivering Meals on Wheels. And the 91-year-old has continued doing it throughout the years.
At my age, and I enjoy doing it. You see these people, they're appreciative, and I really enjoy doing it.
Orrin Gunlickson, an 86-year-old man from Sturgeon Bay, says having Eugene help to deliver meals is an honor.
I've known him for over 50 years.
He says Meals on Wheels are a great help.
Every day I look forward for my meals. It's really helpful because I've got a walker.
Wendy Schubert, the Meals on Wheels coordinator for the Aging and Disability Resource Center, says they deliver to about 60 people in the Sturgeon Bay area each day.
We've gotten many folks have said, I would not have been able to stay in my home if I did not have this meal coming every day. I would definitely be in a nursing home or assisted living or something like that.
Most of the recipients Jacobs delivers to are younger than he is, but this isn't about age.
I have a very, very nice retirement. I mean, I can volunteer, I can play golf, I'm healthy enough to do almost anything I ever did.
He says the process isn't that big of a deal.
Well, I pick up the meals, and I just drive to the houses and meet the people and deliver the meals.
At 91, Jacobs plans to continue his volunteer work, keeping busy in Door County no matter the time of year.
I don't give up on things very easily.
And if you want to do something similar, consider giving your time to Lanakila Meals on Wheels. They deliver much needed meals to senior citizens and special needs individuals all around Oahu. And there's also Meals on Wheels services on neighbor islands. They are looking for volunteers year-round, especially during the holiday season. If you'd like to get involved, you can email volunteer@lanakilapacific.org, or you can call them at 808-356-8521. Always such a great organization to help out those in need, especially our kupuna and those with special needs. I've done stories with Lanakila Pacific before, and the work they do, mahalo to them for everything. It's so important.
All right, more good news. So Hikonyan, an official cat mascot. There it is.
Oh, so cute.
So the mascot of the city of Hikone in Western Japan helped pound mochi at Hikone Castle to prepare for the New Year's celebrations. Now, officials prepared 90 pounds of sweet rice for the occasion. Part of the rice cake was sprinkled with hinako, that's the soybean powder, and served to visitors. Now, the rest will be used as decorative round mochi that will be placed at the castle tower on December 21st. Hikonyan also helped prepare a big, gigantic rope that will be put up at the castle on the same day.
Ooh, Ashley, have you ever pounded mochi before?
Yes, I have.
And what's your experiences like?
It's been a while. We used to do it, every New Year's Eve with my family. But we've gotten older. Backs are getting older. But no, it's awesome.
It is. For me, the first time I did it, I did not realize just how difficult it was. I mean, they make it look so easy, but for me, the hardest part wasn't like the strength, the hitting, it's aiming.
Yes.
Because if you hit the side of the usu or the stone bowl, your paddle is going to splinter.
And it's timing too, because someone has to turn the mochi while you're pounding.
We had at least 3 people all at once, and very important, timing, aim, precision.
Yes.
You don't want splinters in your mochi. Thank you all so much for tuning into This Is Now. We're going to end today with a live look over beautiful Honolulu. Keep in mind, some weather could be changing in the days to come.